All right, guys, I'm in New York City working on very, very big things, but we did just shoot a podcast with my good friend, Eddie. He's an incredible lawyer. He gives me a lot of legal advice. It's an interesting episode. We're talking about internally what's happening on with Superline Network, why the page is going down, who's extorting us. All this is in the podcast. Make sure you guys watch it. You know we stay giving you all free game. Thank you so much. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, welcome to the Superline Playbook podcast with the boys. Today we have a special guest. We have Eddie Kim and we have Telly. So we're doing a new format. We're gonna go on topics now.
Okay.
Eddie is a lawyer, but he is the flyest lawyer.
I appreciate that.
As you can see. All right. So the first topic we have is the new Rolexes. How do you feel about the new Rolexes?
New Rolexes, man. Honestly, I've been working so hard that I haven't been able to like really deep dive into it. So I'm not even really sure what's out right now. Let me try to think. I glanced at it. I know what's not around, like the Pepsi's gone.
Yeah,
right?
Pepsi's gone.
And then the Cookie Monster's gone.
Yeah.
But what's new?
You saw the new one. It was like it was a day-date, but they mixed all three golds. They mixed rose, they mixed yellow, and they mixed white gold.
On the OP.
No, it was a day-date, and then it has like a mint green dial. You haven't seen that one?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's actually it's kind of like a ombre green.
Yeah.
Oh no,
the middle one, yeah.
Okay, with the rose gold with the diamond markers. I like it, but if you're going to do diamonds on a Rolex, I think you should go all the way. Like pave diamonds. Dial's got to have like just like encrusted in it, and then you want to have a diamond bezel as well. And I prefer the baguette diamond bezel versus the circle ones. But it's that's not, how much is that? 62,000?
Yeah,
I wouldn't pay $62,000 for that for a couple of different reasons. The main one, I actually just don't like that watch from an aesthetic standpoint, but also. And I try to tell people don't buy watches as an investment, but I would say my watch collection now is part of my portfolio. It's not a good investment watch. You're never going to get 62 for that watch ever.
What about the OPs, the gold OPs? You
I
like
fuck
those?
with the OPs. Yeah.
You would pay, what is that, 30? You would pay 30 for a gold OP?
It's a lot of gold on that.
Yeah.
And that's a cool size too. What is that, like 28?
28, yeah.
So, it's kind of a bitchy watch, but I like the daintiness of those watches. Like I'm a big Cartier fan. So the Cartiers are like 25 millimeter, 30 millimeter. And I think it's like when a man wears like a more like effeminate watch, I like the juxtaposition of that. Like if you're secure in yourself as a man and you wear a watch that's a little bit smaller, I think it kind of adds some personality. It kind of shows like, what kind of dude you really are.
Before we get into other topics, you brought your watch collection. Can you show the people some of your grails?
Yeah, I can do that.
How much do you think you brought in watches? You brought 3 boxes for the audience. How much do you think this is? $500,000, $1 million, $2 million?
If I were to were you mean retail or like if try to sell it?
What is worth today? What
it's worth today? I probably have like close to 2 million watches with me right now.
Just for the audience, the doors are locked. We got security in the background. They got AK-16, M16. They got everything. So, don't try nothing.
Okay. So to be honest with you, I think the grails of my collection, and it's actually my wife's collection. She's a better collector than I am. She definitely has less quantity, but I think she has more quality. This is the last watch I bought for her, and I don't like sharing watches with my wife. My wife's watches are her watches, and then my watches are mine. But this was offered to me, and I had no idea what it was. This is the puzzle.
Show the camera.
The camera.
Ooh.
So it's rose gold. It's got the orange enamel dial. So this is probably the most sought after. This is the one like Tom Brady's been wearing. It's the hardest one to find. So when the AD offered it to me, he was like, "Do you want this?" And I really didn't know anything about it because it's off catalog. Had no idea it even existed. And I was like, "There's no way I'm ever going to wear this." So I passed. And the AD hit me back and he's like, "You can't pass on this. Show your wife, see if she wants it." So I showed my wife and she's like, "Yeah, I want it." So I went to go buy it. I think the watch was like maybe 50 around there. But if you go on Chrono, you're looking at somewhere between 300, 350,000.
You seen this watch?
Huge come up on this watch.
You know what off catalog is? Off catalog, you know what that is?
You gotta educate me.
Off catalog is like it's essentially when you go to the restaurant, it's not on the menu.
Yeah, you go on the website, you won't see
it. So these are
you won't see it
for specific buyers. Like,
VIP buyer, like VIPP, like the ones that are like him. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have a good relationship.
A good relationship, a big history. And like I said, he paid 50 for that. It goes anywhere from 300, 200 for that watch.
So this was a big come up for me in our family collection.
Yeah.
And
It's a puzzle, and it has the dates. Instead of dates, it has emojis.
so is this specifically with just Rolex alone? Like that's your own relationship?
Yeah, that's my own
Yeah.
relationship with the AD. Yeah, and I think like the best way if you're trying to buy from the AD is you pick one location and you just build up a rapport with your AD. And then it takes a while. I actually don't like that game
Think about it in
because
transaction numbers, like what does that number even look like?
I mean, he has 2 million in watches today, so just do the math. And this is just what he has today, not including,
from what I've learned, I feel like what ADs are really concerned about is flipping. They don't want to sell to people who are going to flip. They want to sell to like genuine enthusiasts, and then obviously people who can actually afford to buy it. I actually bought this one for myself. This is a Patek Tiffany stamp dial.
That is
rose gold.
nice.
And this is considered, I guess, a lady's watch. But like I was saying, I like dainty watches. So I picked this up. I put it on my wrist. I didn't really like it. So I was going to just send it back. But my wife, and the way they delivered it was crazy. It came through the Brinks truck. Like, have you seen, like, when they go to the
like
bank?
to your crib?
To my crib in a big orange bag. Armed security. They wouldn't let anybody, like concierge wasn't allowed to come to them. They needed me to come down, then escort them up, and then they opened it up for me in my home.
That's how many security?
It was just one dude and a gun.
Damn.
But he was a big dude. But he wouldn't talk to anybody. He wouldn't let anyone know like what he was there for, just that he was specifically looking for
That's like
them.
on some DJ Khaled shit. You seen the DJ Khaled memes?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I was glad because it came from New York, so I'm glad, that they took all the extra precautions to make sure it got to me. But what makes this special is that it's a Tiffany stamp dial. And what's crazy is, Patek, I don't even really know the real pronunciation is, they weren't making much headway in the US. It's like a European brand. So Tiffany is, I believe, an American brand. It's trying to help Patek come over. So they created this deal where they're going to stamp the dial, and they helped open up the market for Patek in the US. Patek now actually hates it because they're really proud of their product, their watches. When Tiffany stamps a dial, they take the watch apart and they stamp it themselves. So actually, from my understanding, it annoys Patek because they don't want their watch touched. But whatever deal they made is like a lifetime deal or something. So there's no getting around it. You can only get this watch at Tiffany. They won't sell it at Patek.
And what's the retail on that, and how much does it resell for?
Shit, the retail is probably, I don't know, like 50. And then I've seen it on Chrono go for 100, 150, something like that.
I think David Dobrik has a watch like that, but it's steel.
Yes.
Steel, yeah.
The one that he got on the Diamond District?
Yeah.
Was it
Watching-
Tiffany stamp?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his is probably more sought after because this is what do they call this? 7118, something like that. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but since this is a ladies, this is less desirable. But I think the 5711, the bigger sizes, I got a smaller wrist, so I like to wear smaller watches. But these two, I made so many mistakes when I was first collecting that I was like definitely down when it came to like, how much a watch costs versus like.
What were the mistakes that you made?
The very first mistake I made was my very first Rolex that I bought for myself. I don't own it anymore, but I just thought, big face Rollie like Jay-Z made popular. So it was a 41 millimeter. And then I do love diamonds and had diamond markers on it. I paid like 10K for it, but it's not like, now that I'm like an enthusiast, that's not the watch that I would choose. I traded it for an AP actually, a Royal Oak.
What do you do for a living to be having $2 million worth of watches just casually on a Wednesday?
Okay, so my day job is my business. I run a law firm. It's a personal injury law firm. It's called Kim Law. It is a very, very lucrative business for a couple of different reasons. I think my favorite aspect about having about owning and operating a law firm is the barrier of entry. So like for you, Eric, there's no barrier of entry to sell blanks, right?
Anyone can, or a clothing brand, anyone can create a clothing brand, a t-shirt company, or sell blanks, whatever. Yeah.
And I think there's something beautiful about that. But for me as like a businessman, as someone who's competing and who wants an edge, I like the fact that the only people that can own and operate a law firm are lawyers. Like I think we're the only industry where that's not possible. So if you're not a doctor, you can own a hospital. If you're not a chiropractor, you can own a chiropractic clinic. You don't have to be the actual professional hands-on. You can just pay for the business and run it and hire doctors, hire chiropractors and things like that. So that barrier of entry is, it helps me. It kind of keeps like a competitive edge amongst just attorneys. And there's still a lot of attorneys. So if anyone was allowed to operate a firm, I think it would make it really, really difficult for even attorneys because there's people with a lot of money that just want to, make money. And I would say the top 1% of the 1% of attorneys that make the most money are personal injury lawyers. And amongst personal injury lawyers, the top 1% of the 1% would be mass tort lawyers. Did you ever hear of Roundup?
No, what is that?
I bet you have it in your garage. You guys have a lawn?
Something with bugs?
Yeah, it's like a pesticide. You spray your grass. And basically it causes cancer. The worst situations are like janitors or whoever keeps like, whoever maintains like the lawn of a campus or a football field is always inhaling and using Roundup. So they seem to have the worst effect. But even just like for your own home, if you're constantly using it and you're breathing it in, it's on your grass, whatever it is, it can put you in a pretty bad situation. So that's when I started there. I did really well for my clients. I made a lot of money. It was successful. But the time it takes, I felt like I could put my money to use better from an investment standpoint. And then from a work standpoint, it's not what I do every day. So because it's not what I do every day, it kind of messes up my workflow. And because it was messing up my workflow, I felt like I could do a better job for my clients. My main gig is helping people who are injured in car crashes. And I have a really, really good flow for that because I've been doing that for 15 years. And when I go outside of that and dog attacks,
Dog attacks is crazy.
Yeah, dog attacks are crazy.
Essentially, don't start a clothing brand, become a lawyer, and if you get in a car crash, hit up Kim Law.
Do what your mom tells you.
Yeah, do what your mom tells you. Moving on to the second topic, the Superline Network Instagram got taken down.
Yes.
You're a lawyer. How do you feel about that? I mean, I know it's not a car crash. I know it's not like a dog attack, but how do you feel about that? What should we do as a company, do you think?
Okay, I'm not going to give you any legal advice on camera, but what I think you need to do, like this would be my suggestion to you if I was your attorney. First of all, stop posting copyrighted images. Like there's no need to do it. You can license those photos and use it whenever you want. But it's really hard to know that when you're first starting your business and you don't really know the laws, you really don't know how business even works. So I can understand why people will just Google an image off the internet, use it, but somebody owns that work. Like you especially should know, like how much content have you made over the last year?
To give people context, essentially the reason why our Instagram got taken down is because copyright issues. So when you run an Instagram page, let's say you go on Google and type in, I don't know, Playboy Cardi thong picture, and then you take that photo and you make a meme out of it, that photo is owned by someone. Yeah. And they can copyright claim that against your account. So we have currently 13 claims, right? 10 of them being like the paparazzi photos, 3 of them being something else. So when you constantly break that rule, I guess Instagram takes down your account. So just to give people reference. And what Eddie's saying is if he was my lawyer, number one, stop doing that, which we have been.
Yeah. But how would you feel? Like you've made so much content over the years. If someone took your content and posted it as their own content, how would that make you feel?
People do that. I do have the option to strike claims, but I feel like the way, and you can butt in on what you think too, but I think the way that social media works now is such a clipping culture.
Okay.
And I feel like that's part of it. I feel like you want people to do that. Like I would want people, right? Like we would want people to clip up this podcast.
To raise your exposure.
Yeah. Like even when we interviewed Rami runs a YouTube channel. I was like, dude, I've seen all your shorts. He's like, that's not my page.
Right.
So there's a guy who's making money off of taking Rami's long form, clipping it and posting it on a separate channel and making AdSense.
Okay. But Rami doesn't do anything because he feels like there's something mutually beneficial about it, right? Because it raises his exposure, right?
Yeah.
What about the paparazzi guy that you don't know his face, you don't know his name, and he's out there 24/7, hunting down celebrities, taking pictures and doing work. Nobody will ever know who he is. How would you feel if you were that guy?
That's why you need a lawyer friend.
Right?
It's valid.
You would feel kind of like, shit, I just did all this work and someone else is just using it. They didn't have to stake out a restaurant where celebrities might be or hang out at the hotel all day long, just waiting for the moment to take a picture of someone.
Yeah.
Right? So think of it in that way.
Yeah, it's valid. When you put it that way, and even when I went through it in my head, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. What do you think?
No, I agree with them. I agree with you. Like, I feel like we should just chill out on it. And, focus on doing original content like this. Do
you think we should be trying to get our page back, or you think we should just say fuck it?
Definitely get your page. What's that? It's 1 million, right?
It's at 1 million, yeah.
You have to get that page back. That's a must. I mean, what's the value of a page with 1 million followers? How much reach do you have with 1 million followers?
I think at our peak we were getting like 100 million impressions a month. At our peak,
100
million impressions a month.
100 million impressions,
right? That's what it was.
Yes.
And then when we started getting shadow banned and stuff, it went down to like 50 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 100 million impressions per month. And how does that help you?
I feel like it helped us sell more blanks. I feel like it helped us get more brand deals.
What about you personally?
I feel like it hurts me.
Why is that?
Because I get addicted to it. I get addicted to just looking at my phone.
Okay. Well, you get addicted to it. Why? Because you're getting exposure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're addicted to it, you want exposure, you need exposure. It helps you directly and also incidentally with your other businesses too, right? It gives you credibility. When you have 1 million followers, like I think people will look at you differently. Like, oh, there's a lot of people that admire you, look up to you, are looking for your content, looking for reasons to, just emulate what you're doing in their own way. And I think 1 million followers is pretty powerful. If you have 1 million of anything, like you're doing really well. You sell 1 million of any product, you're doing really, really well.
What is the maximum amount of money that we should pay to get it back or invest to get it back?
What is the maximum amount of money? So what'd you say? You said 12, 13?
I mean, if I could pay this amount right now and have it back forever, right now, I would probably pay 50.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think 50 is fair.
The problem is we could pay 50 and still not get it back. That's the problem.
Why would you pay 50 and not get it back?
It's a lot of it is out of our control. So the audience, if you don't know, we have 10 claims. The people that put the claims on, they essentially want a certain amount of money to get the claims off. But even if we were to go through that and they were to go to Instagram, take the claims off, it's just like, it's still on Instagram to bring back the page. So it's not like we'd be paying Instagram to guarantee to bring the page back. We'd be just paying somebody to take the claims off, then hopefully again help.
Okay, so essentially you have two issues. You have two separate issues, but they're kind of blended together. So you have the one issue where you have copyright infringement issues, right? I think you do need to resolve that no matter what. Whether you get your page back or not, you want that resolved. You're running a business. You don't want a business with any kind of like anything negative associated to your brand. So just get that cleaned up. And then you have the secondary issue of getting your page back, which is unrelated to the copyright infringement issues. Hopefully you'll be able to resolve one and the other and continue moving forward. But you can't think of it as, oh, I'm willing to spend $50,000 to resolve the copyright infringement issues only if I can get my Instagram page back, because that's not how it works. Yeah. As you mentioned, it's two separate issues, but you can only take it step by step. If you have copyright infringement issues, you'll never get to the secondary issue of getting your Instagram page back.
How much would you pay on the first issue? What's the amount of money that you would invest to handle that matter? So
I honestly think that I wouldn't want to pay much. I'll give you an example that, so Eric is my friend. So I've been doing some research for him, and one of the cases that I found, which I thought was hilarious, was Sofía Vergara. Oh my God.
You know who that is?
Her name. What is her last name?
How you know who that is?
Modern Family, right?
Yeah, Modern Family.
Okay.
Well, how do you say her last name? I don't want to.
I don't know how to say it. Vergara.
Vergara.
I don't know how to
Yes.
say it.
Okay. So she actually posted a red carpet photo of herself, like, you know, going to like a premiere or whatever it was. She posted it on her Instagram. Then she got a copyright infringement lawsuit filed against her. A picture of herself that she posted on her Instagram, and they sued her because she doesn't own the photo. I don't know if this was their strategy or if they didn't care or whatever it was, but they never answered the suit. So it went into default. Well, when it goes into default, it means like the issue is over. So Sofía, she lost the copyright claim. And in fact, she would have lost it anyways. So really, after a default, it just becomes the judge's decision. You have a damages hearing with the judge. There's no jury. Then the plaintiff will state their case, demand X amount of money, and then present it to the judge, and the judge will make a decision on how much you have to pay. And in in her specific case, I believe it was $750.
So they sued her to win $750 for that one photo.
Because the floor on the statute is $750 is like the minimum.
And what's the maximum?
I think the maximum, I don't know off the top of my head, but if I remember correctly, I believe it's $150K per photo.
And that would be in a circumstance where if she was using a photo and what would give the judge the right to
what would make a judge think that?
Yeah.
Like something like really egregious, like you know you're not supposed to be doing it, you've been warned, you keep doing it over and over and over again, and not only is it over and over again, but in your situation, your company, most of your content is your original content, right?
Yeah,
it belongs to you. Well, there's pages and websites that don't have their own content at all, and they're just ripping off other people's content and posting it as theirs. So in that type of situation, when a judge will see that, and if it goes into default, then they're probably going to get hit with the highest possible kind of penalties.
So that being said, what do you think we should pay as a company for those claims?
Shit, man. I think
because what that company is essentially doing is they're not trying to get the $750 from us. That's not what they care about. What they care about is we're gonna try to take away your Instagram page, and then that's the trade-off is the Instagram page, less of the damages.
Which I think is kind of crazy because you just explained to me that they don't have any way to actually reinstate your page, right?
Well, technically they do because you could redact what was that the word? Redact? You could redact the claims,
okay. But
then Instagram, their customer service is just so ass.
Right.
So it's like even if he doesn't, like for example, I played DJ Vlad 5,000, right? Because we used a Ben Baller interview.
Okay.
We did it. Then he put a claim on us. Then we reached out to him, and then he said, my shit is 5 bands. We'll say, okay, we'll pay it, right? Okay. He redacted it, but then it took like weeks. It took like weeks for it. And it's like, Instagram customer service is terrible. So even if we did pay this company, we're banking on Instagram providing us decent customer service.
All right. So Eric, I would say that you're a veteran in business. Okay. You can't move like that. You can't move based on what you think the outcome is going to be. You just have to go step by step. So the first step is you have a copyright infringement issue, right?
Yeah.
So that needs to get resolved first. Get that resolved. Then you need to get your Instagram page reinstated. And with the help, if they, I don't know if Redact drop their claims, copyright claims with Instagram, and it's been resolved. And hopefully they'll do that. Well, they should. That should be the exchange for the money. And then from there, you tackle the second problem, which is getting your page set back reinstated. And then from there, you've learned your lesson about using copyrighted images, and just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. What do you think is the amount that I should
I don't want you to
invest?
pay shit, to be honest with you.
But what is like, not as a lawyer speaking, as a business owner speaking, if you were in my shoes, what is the ticket that I should pay to handle the first
It's
step.
a million followers, which I understand. It's not like Kim Kardashian or Kanye with like 20 million.
Yeah.
I understand that it's not at that level, but still a million is a strong number. And I think it's worth a considerable amount of money because you get a lot of reach too. 100 million impressions per month, like the direct and incidental benefit that you receive from those 1 million followers alone. To me, I think it's worth paying whatever you got to pay it to get it back. But for me, if I was your attorney, I'd say pay 25.
If the guy's watching this video, I don't have nothing, so I'm paying you nothing. I'm paying you nothing. And he's not my attorney, so I'm not listening to his advice and I'm paying you nothing, a single dollar. Do you think we should get the page back? What do you think? Do you think it's worth 25?
Let's do the math. It's 13 pictures, right?
Yeah.
25,000
divided by 13. I know I'm Asian, but it's like 2 bands a picture. I mean, technically, if you do it like that, we paid Vlad 5 bands. So it's like we're paying this guy half, a little, 60%. But do you think it's worth putting up 25 bands to handle the first step and then get to the next step?
Do you want to restart a million?
Nobody wants to restart.
Okay, how long did it take you to get the million?
How long did it take us?
10 years.
10 years, probably.
10 years, bro.
10 years.
I know that it wouldn't take you 10 years now.
Shit, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know if we can do it again. A million is a lot.
No, I have faith you
A
could
million
do it.
is a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
I think it's worth money, and I think it's worth resolving.
Why are you so quiet, bro?
I'm just listening. This is
25 bands. Would you pay the 25 bands?
I
or
don't.
no?
I'm not in that.
But just try to put yourself in that situation. Try to put yourself in that situation. Imagine it's like, don't imagine it's 25 bands compared to the money in your account. Just think about it as 25 bands over the entire company.
I would pay it to clear my name.
Just to clear your name. Even though there's not a chance for us to get to the next, there's no guarantee on the next step.
Yeah, that's just for my conscience.
Okay, because you're saying we still use the paparazzi's photos. We still did
for
wrong.
Sure, because I shoot photos too, so I can get it from both sides. Because he explained a great point where he's like, it's a guy hustling on the street just trying to get the photo to get eventually paid. So it's
And
like
someone else just grabs it off the internet.
right, if somebody grabs it off the internet,
advantage
you will
of
want
it.
your credit.
Yeah. Well, you don't want credit. You would want your paper.
Yeah, both ways. But it's like I would just do that to clear my name.
So you're saying aside from getting the page back, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Not only is it the right thing to do, is you just don't want you don't want negative legal issues surrounding your business at any point, right?
Yeah.
So even if you don't get your page back, I would get rid of the copyright infringement issues. And you know what? Me knowing you for as long as I have, I would be really surprised if you didn't get your page back.
All right, guys, in the comments, let us know down below if we should spend the 25 bands to get the page back, or if we just say, fuck it, we just keep going. But when you say it like that, the conscious thing, that strikes a different chord. Because now I'm not thinking like strategically, I'm thinking more like ethically, and it's like, I never thought about it like that.
It's kind of like if you say something really messed up to someone you care about, it's like, they might say at the back of your head, and you might want to even say that I apologize for what I said, really.
Yeah, but imagine this apology cost you.
Yeah, but it's not
each one.
it's about the relationship. It's about the relationship because long term, that could pay off in the future.
Yeah,
and it might not pay out in the way that you think it is gonna it's not gonna pay out in the way you might think it's gonna be. But at the same time, it's not for you to determine how that payout is gonna be.
I actually really, really admire and love that thought process. Essentially, what you're doing is you're creating a legitimate business, right? And to have a legitimate business, you have to do business,
the right way.
Yeah, the right way. And you may lose money on having to pay for these, for using the copyrighted images, but you've probably learned so much already now on how you do use the Getty images or the getting licensing for images. And so now you're fully equipped and educated. So as you move forward with your business, you'll know how to be careful. You'll know how to do things the correct way. And so you don't have to deal with this issue in the future anymore. So I think it helps.
Last week I was telling the podcast that the stress of running a business is so much.
Yeah.
And that some days I want to off myself. I said a different word, but I said a way worse word, but I won't say that.
What makes you want to do that? Like what is so? Because when I look around here and I see what you build, I think it's fucking amazing. Why would you want to give that up?
I think, yesterday I took a day off yesterday for like the first time in a really long time.
Felt guilty.
I didn't even feel guilty. I felt great. I felt like,
oh, really?
Well rested. I think I was just burnt out. I think I was just like, okay. You know, being a business owner, it's like, there's always it's like, whether somebody's, you know, you did copyright claims, then it's like a disgruntled employee, then it's like vendors, payments, customers.
Are you selling enough shit?
Bills, just the pressure. Oh, this person fought with Miss Lee. Mm-hmm. I gotta go. Miss Lee's my mom, and you know, like I gotta tell her, like I don't care if you're my mom. It's like, hey, you can't say that to people in the company. Mm-hmm. Things like that.
How do you feel when people come up to you that don't run their business and they say things like, you must be so lucky because you have all your time, you make your own schedule. It must be really nice being your own boss. How do you feel when people say that to you?
No, nobody's ever said that to me because anyone who thinks like that would never be around me to say that. And anyone who's around me would know, like,
no, there's no way. You didn't have any friends growing up that have a 9-to-5 who are like envious of like your free time.
If you're even in that, like, if you even think like that, I'm so far away from you that like I don't even want, like, you're not even gonna be close enough to me to say that.
Oh shit! Well, I don't even know.
And if you're around me, it's like you're gonna see me working every fucking day. That there's no way you could think that. There's no way. And also the part of it is like, if you're around me, I'm also going to probably push you to work like that too.
I think it's a common misconception. I get a lot of people tell me, oh, it must be so nice to be you, Eddie. Like you just get to do whatever you want.
Because they just see this. They just see the 2 million in watches. They don't see okay, to give you guys perspective, I sent Eddie a potential phone call at like 2 a.m. Or no, it was like late night. This man answered the phone, gave him a personal phone number, like...
So it was around midnight.
It was around midnight. Like people don't see that, right? Like they see the watches, but they don't see what goes into it. Yeah. For us, it's very different. We don't show any of the watches. We just show all the other shit. Yeah. So I think it's different.
I would say for me, and I really want to make sure like this comes across genuinely. I work really, really hard because when I do something, I want to do it to the best of my ability. And what I've come to find is when I do things to the best of my ability, I'm naturally rewarded with whether it's reputation or money or whatever else that comes along with it. I think if you start chasing money, I think it's like the worst reason to start a business. Like you should start a business because it's something that you're passionate about, something that you want to do, something that you feel like you're capable of doing. If you go and it's strictly about money and you just chase that, people will see right through you. And it's really hard to have a good foundation of like a good business philosophy to grow your business into something that can be widely successful.
Do you ever think about, a lot of people who start businesses think about exiting? Like I've been thinking about that. Do you think we should exit? How do you feel about like exiting a company? And when I say exiting, like buying, like getting bought out by investment bankers or selling at a multiple. Yeah. How do you feel about that? You think I should be gearing up for that?
Oh, that's such a loaded question. I mean, I'm going to give you a very lawyer response. Maybe. It just depends. Like, what's your situation? Like, do you still love what you do? Is it profitable? Because no one's going to want to buy your company when it's on the decline, right? So you do end up if you do sell your business and you sell it for like what you want to sell it for, you're usually doing it in the peak. So are you willing to let that go at the peak? It's really hard to walk away on top. When Jordan hits the buzzer beater in Utah, Game 6, like you go out on top, like how hard is it to walk away from that? So I think it's more about like, do you really love what you're doing? Do you love what you're doing with the people that are around you day to day? Do you like servicing your clients and your customers? Like, does it get you going? When I look at you, I feel like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're fighting for your million follower Instagram page right now. I think if you were in a position where you didn't care, I don't think any of this would matter to you. You wouldn't be talking about the copyright. You wouldn't be learning how to handle your business.
It's some good outside perspective.
It is.
Because for him, he's like in this system all the time to a point where like he's not even able to see like
anything outside of these four walls.
Exactly.
I mean, that's understandable because this is your world.
Yeah. It's 6 days a week too. And your only off day is Sunday. So you already know you coming back the next day. Yeah. You're not even thinking about how, I guess it's not even a comparison thing, but more so like, you don't even have the time to sit down and breathe. But like you said, the day off was like the first time you kind of just been like, I feel good. Like, I feel right.
Well, it's crazy. I also worked yesterday too. So I had.
So that's not really a day off.
But it's a day off in that like I was just at home all day.
What made you want it? What caused you to take the day off?
Sunday night, my wife was just fucking. She was just, I forgot. We fought about.
Okay, she needs to shut the fuck up. Like, no.
Hey, Sam, can you clip this and send this to my wife? She gonna get mad. No, she was.
I know your wife.
She wasn't mad. She was just calling me out on like, you know, like
making her life so amazing.
No, she was calling me out on like, oh, you're not like, you could be doing better and like,
better in what?
Not necessarily better at work, not necessarily more effort at work, but just like. What's she, you know, she was like, what's the rush? Like, why are you always trying to rush to get to some place? Like, why are you trying to rush and grow your company? Like, why don't you just like take time and breathe? And why don't you just like.
Did we just not speak about 10 years to get 1 million followers?
Yeah. I don't know, she's going to get mad when she see this, but it was like that. It was that conversation Sunday. And then I woke up Monday and I was like, damn, I really do need to like take care of myself. And like, you know, she was like, what's the point of you building this company and helping all these people and doing all this if you get cancer and you die? You know, okay. And she was like, you could still do all of these things. You just don't got to do it so fast and kill yourself.
What's the point of living a long life if you're not living the life you want to live?
You're not going to ever beat a lawyer.
That's not even a lawyer thing. Like, do you want to live a life, a long life where you're 80, 90 years old, but you're not doing the things you want to do?
But it's like, I think what she's saying is like, you might die at 40 versus like, I'd rather live to like 60, 70. And have a medium, you know?
Right.
Like,
you might die at 40, you might die at 50, you might die at 60, but do you want to, whenever you die, do you want to look back and think, you know what, I did what I wanted to do? Or do you feel like you're living a life that you don't want to live?
No, for the most part, I'm living the life that I want to live, except for when it gets overwhelming.
Okay.
But for the most part, I am living a life.
When is it not overwhelming as a business owner?
Every day, huh?
Yeah. Is there a day that's not overwhelming?
Today was pretty like not as overwhelming.
Okay.
It was okay.
So what's the difference? What's the distinguishing factor there? What makes it overwhelming versus underwhelming or doable?
Maybe like workload when there's like a lot of work.
Okay, isn't that when you start a business?
Yeah.
Like, do you want a lot of work or do you want a little bit of work?
Yeah. A lot.
Okay. So is that overwhelming or does that just mean you're successful?
I think the parts that get overwhelming for me is I always tell them like I always want to bring so much value. And I think sometimes I sell myself short and then that starts to add up. You know, like even for us, like we collectively said like even on the network, like, oh, we don't want to do as many brand deals because like our rate for brand deals is way less than like what it should be. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, we got to do this ad read. And I was like, you know what? Like that shit gets overwhelming sometimes, you know? And it's like, it's like a philosophy or that's a problem that I have where it's like, sometimes I give too much value for what I'm doing and then the workload adds up too much, you know? Mm-hmm.
So it's like having, you're like the old lady with the Virginia ham under her arm talking about how she's hungry.
Explain that to me. Maybe it's
meaning like you have everything that you've worked so hard, established a successful business. What I really find impressive about you, Eric, something that I've always gravitated to you is because Superline is not your company. You are not the founder of Superline.
True.
Is that right?
True.
That's your mom and dad's business? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't know many kids who, and Superline has always been a successful business, right?
I don't know about successful, but it's been around.
It's relative.
Yeah.
Okay. How long has it been around?
They were around for 10 years before I hopped on.
Okay. 10 years, having a business for 10 years and keeping the doors open.
It's still a win.
Yeah, that's a win.
Hard.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
And what you've done is you've come in and you've raised the bar. You've created more opportunities for your parents' business. And now it's not just a small mom and pop. What you've created is a legacy. So as you continue to do this, and Ezra gets older and he gets to be around all of this, and he watches you work, and then he will have that that ingrained in him. Like, my dad works, my grandparents work. Only my mom is at home. So he's going to look up to you, and then you've created something that I feel like, as long as you continue to move forward, that it's a legacy. And if I was you, I would never sell this. Like, there's no reason for you to sell this. Like, you're creating a media platform. What I think is going to be interesting is, when I first started watching your content, I mean, I've always watched your content, but what was really interesting to me was your BTS stuff about like how heavy is, a blank, cutting the holes, weighing it, showing people like how it's done. And how many people have you helped start a business, a fashion business?
A lot of shitty brands.
Okay, a
couple good ones.
Okay, a couple good ones.
I gotta keep honest, no? A lot of shitty brands and a couple good ones.
How many people have come into your shop looking for blanks with a dream and or desire to
millions.
Yeah, but not everyone gets to be successful, right? But you are kind of like that. You're that light where people are drawn to, and they're saying, "Okay, there can do it. I can do it," and you're giving them that feeling of like, "Hey, this is real. It's tangible." Like you see Eric on TikTok or Instagram, then you come into the shop, and I fuck with that so heavy is that you come to the shop and you're here.
Yeah. People can't believe it. They're like, this guy's shipping out orders. He's packing boxes, and they be trying to talk about, bro, I got so many orders. I saw
your fucking stack of orders like this, and you're there.
Yeah.
Right next to your guys, battling shoulder to shoulder, getting shit done and making your business work.
Okay, so to give you perspective, the network did $700,000 in revenue last year. What are we at this year? Like 150? Somewhere around there? Yeah. 150. This year we're at 150. So like far behind right now.
Mm-hmm. But you got other things going on right now.
Yeah. Do you think the network is, we've asked this question so many times, but you're a smart person. Do you think it's lead gen for the core business, or do you think it's its own thing?
From the outside looking in, without knowing like what goes into your day to day on the inside, I'm going to give you another lawyer answer. I think it's both. I think your media platform funnels clients and customers to Superline Wholesale. Okay, you're building trust. Your brand is you have a trustful brand. People believe you. So if they're trying to buy blanks, they're going to come to you and buy blanks. So you're definitely going to see, I think, an increase in the volume of sales. Is that right? Would that be correct? Since you started your platform and it's started going?
I mean, I think, but it's hard to
quantify it.
And it's hard to just say that it's just that.
Oh, I would never say it's just that. But to say that there's no incidental benefits.
Although there definitely is.
Yeah, right? There's definitely something there that's helping that. So it works as kind of like this automatic commercial. But I do view Superline Network as its own thing. And I think you can help not just your own business. I mean, you just talked about ad reads. How many other businesses have you helped and bring exposure? And like, you're someone that people trust here in Atlanta. And Atlanta's like, we're not New York, we're not LA. So we don't really have like huge influencers here that can move the needle. And I'm going to be real with you. 1 million is a lot. Okay. But you're not like Kai Sanat. You're not like that.
Yeah.
But I think you can get there. And so that's why I think it's its own thing, because once it gets to its own thing and you're at 5 million followers, 10 million followers, I mean, shit, that's a whole other business right there.
What do you think? That's the age-old question we ask all the time, based off what he said.
Like, is the network worth it?
Is it its own thing? Should we focus?
I feel like it's two separate things.
You think it's two separate things?
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like the pivot that we've been going in is doubling down on what the wholesale represents.
Yeah,
because the network we were able to get that reach because like we were wide. Like it's like a lot of different random posts, but still kind of mesh together in a way.
There's like a common thread running through all of it.
Right.
So when you started the network, when you started the media platform, was the purpose to give Superline wholesale exposure?
People think it's like, oh, it's like methodically thought out. I was just like chasing views. I was just chasing.
Okay,
like,
so you wanted clout.
Yeah, I was just chasing I was just like, yo, I just got to put this everywhere. Like, that's just how I was thinking about it.
Okay, but when I think about your older videos, like, and you're weighing, the grams of the, your blanks and the sweaters and the hoodies, like, why that? Why that content?
You should be a therapist, man.
He should, right? This man, is he a lawyer or is he a therapist, bro?
But he has to ask the questions to his clients. So
Yeah, he does.
If you're just trying to make content, you can make anything. Why content for that?
I think that's what ended up happening is we just started making anything. But those videos specifically, it was just stuff that I was learning.
Okay.
Like my dad was showing me like, yo, this is how you do the GSM.
Oh, that's fire.
And I was like, shit, nobody's ever seen this online. I was like, let me go show them.
Yeah.
So it was like that. A lot of the stuff, I was just learning it at the same time. I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Okay.
And I was just telling the audience like, yo, did you know about this? Did you know about
so you're
that?
filming like the educational aspect of like running this type of business. Were you making other types of videos? Were you doing like skits? Like
we started very like fashion centric,
Yeah.
very like hardcore about fits and fashion. And then like we started to go more like pop culture.
Okay.
Probably when we got to like plus 500,000, that's when we started going like
and you started to
really
branch off to
like
other
really
things.
wide, like watches, Justin Bieber, Coachella performance, like just
So
really
what
wide.
made that switch? You went to something that like every day, like it's your thing, to branching off to things that just interest you.
Cultural relevance.
Cultural relevance.
Cultural relevance to who?
Just the way we thought about it was like, we just need to be on your feed every day. Like whether it's connected to our product-based business or not, we just need to be in your face every single day.
Okay, but what's the purpose of being in my face as an audience?
I like your questions.
Yeah, because he's making us really think. What's the purpose? Back then, the purpose was we were gonna take that relevancy and then sell ad slots on it.
Ad slot. Explain that to me.
Like, for example, let's say we post 15 times a day. 12 of them are like relevant cultural posts, like Justin Bieber's, the laptop, his Coachella performance.
Yeah,
You see all those
fire,
memes? Yeah, all those memes, right? Yeah. And then 3 of them would be promos.
Okay.
That people would want to pay to be in the mix of the Justin Bieber's, Yeah, that's what we saw.
Promos for what? Give me an example.
Shit, everything from a software company that teaches you how to spy on your competitors to trade shows to what are the crazier promos that we've done? Like shoe companies, Prize Picks.
Okay, so you're making content. You want to be in everyone's face every single day. And the reason is because you want companies to reach out to you and pay you for promo.
Yes, and we could put in our own promos within the promos.
Your own promo, like what do you mean? Like Superline Wholesale?
Superline Wholesale. Oh, we got this blanket or oh this or that.
Okay.
So it was like Superline Wholesale was essentially one of the clients of the network.
Okay, so you started your platform as an advertising agency, specifically for yourself, or specifically for your parents' business, your business, Superline Wholesale. And as it grew, you realized other companies are reaching out to you to help them get promo and exposure through the following that you built.
Correct.
Okay. Was that always the plan?
Bro, we ain't had no plan. We just woke up and went to work every day.
But there's got to be something. Like, what makes you want to have 1 million followers?
It became the plan.
Okay.
It
Well, you
became the
had to
plan.
start there. So why even post the first one?
What do you mean?
The first content you ever posted.
In the beginning, it was just I was just trying to help my parents' business and just sell more shit.
Okay, so
That's what it was.
So it initially started as
Marketing for Superline Wholesale.
okay,
And then it converted over to
and
like
you started to grow. The audience grew. You built trust, credibility, and then now other businesses are willing to pay you money so that you can promote their business. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you take anybody's business or are you selective?
Don't look at me.
Sam,
What happened?
do we take anybody's business or are we selective? We take everybody's business. You know when you go to like the red light therapy and they're in the window and they just take anybody, you got $50. Mm-hmm. Ours is not $50, but it's similar to that.
Okay, so do you have any rules of like any ethical measurement or anything where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do that?
The only ethical stuff is like maybe when a company was like, we knew they were scammy. Like we didn't do any like, what is that? Meme coins.
Okay.
We didn't do any like shit. Even if we like heard down the road like, yo, this guy scams people or this app is a scam, we kind of would like double check and make sure like it wasn't like, you know, like if it was a service, like we would go on their service and we would try it ourselves and see.
Let me ask you this. So when you're trying to figure out, you're running your background checks, you're doing your due diligence, you're researching this company that's asking you for help with promo, like, are you doing that because you personally, like philosophically don't align with how they operate? Or is it just because you want to protect your brand's reputation?
We just don't want to get anybody hurt in exchange for money.
Okay.
We just don't want anyone to, especially if they follow us or if they, you know, consume our content. We don't want.
You don't want to promo shit that you don't believe in.
No, we promo shit that we don't believe in all the time. I just don't want nobody to get hurt along the way. Like I don't want somebody's hard-earned money to go to waste.
Give me an example of that. How do you promote something that you don't believe in, and how does that not negatively affect your audience?
Why are you laughing, Sam? Sam can hop in on this. Why are you laughing, bro?
Eric is really good at selling the whatever emotion that is like needed for the scripts. So every ad feels genuine.
I agree.
Yeah, like every ad feels very genuine.
But they're not always genuine.
There are certain softwares that we have never used and we still advertise for them and the ads do well.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily like Eric is putting on a front. It's just more.
It's acting. It's a little bit of acting.
He's just like how he would sell his products. It's like he uses that same energy towards.
To be fair, I've also sold shitty products next door.
Yeah.
I never wore it. I never believed it.
Last year, the first video that I created that went viral was from our ripping product. And like we sold out of that after that reel. And it's just like.
I pretty much exposed our own products that they're deteriorating. Mm-hmm. Most people wouldn't do that.
I guess what I'm trying to understand from you is like, if you're looking out for your audience, which I agree with that. I mean, what's wrong with selling something that you don't personally use?
Nothing. That's why we do it.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to be like, I don't think that's weird that you promo things that you don't utilize yourself, as long as what you just mentioned, it doesn't hurt other people, because you might not fuck with it, but someone might.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who's needing something that you're promoting and you have that following and that exposure. So what if you don't use it personally? As long as it's a good product, someone obviously might need it. And if that person finds it through you, then you've done your end by delivering on for the client that asked you to promo. And then whoever purchases that product and, you know, uses it well and enjoys that product or service, well, they get what they need too. Just from following your page.
We do make sure internally that we take the due diligence to make sure the product is good, and then decent enough to sell. And then Eric will take the script and then he'll essentially change it to his lens, as long as he knows that like internally we trust it. So there is some checks and balances that fall into place.
Do you think the network is needed? Do you think I should continue to push it? My problem is I can't do two things great at the same time.
I gotta say this too. My fault.
No, go ahead.
Ever since I've been here, like I'm the last hire, right?
Okay.
He said my only goal is to sell more blanks. So then it's like two like juggling goals, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he wants to sell more blanks. That's been the common denominator.
What's more important to you, selling more blanks or growing your media channel?
In an ideal world, if I didn't have to sell blanks and I didn't have the liability of running a blank company, I would love to just do media.
Okay.
In an ideal world. But the problem is that my parents built this business for 10 years. I hopped on for 10 years and I built it to
where it is now, and it's continuing to grow.
But with that, it's like the difference between a lawyer and a product base is technically you could just you could just quit. Like you could just leave. And like the only liabilities or losses would be the employees. For the product-based side, if I left tomorrow, it's like, bro, we have $4 million of inventory. That's cash. And if you don't have somebody selling it, it's going to be somebody's going to buy it for pennies. So it's like we would lose 4 million, right? So that's the problem, is that as much as it's like, oh, I want to do the media shit, it's like I'm so heavily invested over here that like I really can't move.
So then I want to add, that's where like the network conversation comes into play, because if the network is wide, right, the wholesale page, which is a smaller, more niche like platform, is
it's two separate pages.
It's two separate pages. So the wholesale page is specifically for the brand owners, like the clothing, like people trying to get up off of clothes. I feel like now we're making that pivot. And if we do the funnel correctly, it will just be ad for Superline and just keep doing different shit.
I actually totally agree with you.
So it's like the thing that he has that he wants to do is like be in media. He can still do it, but just in the realm of clothing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but why narrow it down only to clothing?
Because you can't be an expert of everything, and we don't have the bandwidth to do everything.
Okay, you might not have the bandwidth now, but I mean, how many media companies only focus on one thing?
Yeah, I'm not saying the pivot is not possible too, but I feel like there's a lot. Like there's like layers we have not even hit yet with that too.
What do you mean?
With the pivot?
Layers?
Yeah, with the pivot.
Yeah, he's saying we haven't gotten deep enough with the fashion stuff yet. Like we haven't emptied out the well yet. There's still more water to like. There's still more content that we can make in just this niche, in just this audience. There's like so much more that we haven't. Remember, like Tulones, he says, deeper than GSM.
Right.
It's like there's more than just cutting the weight of a fabric that goes into making the clothes.
Like he just went to China, and like the video is fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even think people are getting to a point where they're breaking down stuff the way he just did it. So I feel like even with that, like you said, it's more things we can do in that. Not saying that we can't pivot later down the line, but it's like, I feel like you can, when we have more resources to do certain things, I feel like a pivot can definitely happen.
Okay.
Yeah, when I have more resources, essentially, yeah. More brain power, more work, more capital, all of that stuff.
Okay, so in the ideal world, and you've got your Superline network established exactly how you want it, what does it look like to you?
That's some good questions, bro.
I think Superline wholesale becomes or competes with like the S&S and Alpha Brothers. That's like my Morgan and Morgan. Okay. They're like the investment banks, 9 distribution centers across the U.S.
Okay.
I mean, their warehouses make our shit look like ass.
But that's Superline wholesale.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Superline network. What does that look like to you?
It would be a variation of, it would be like Complex meets Business Insider meets like Dave Chappelle show.
Okay.
It would be like still a machine that has ad slots for Superline wholesale, that still has ad slots for that product-based business, but then it would have ad slots for other things. Everything from fragrances to sports gambling to personal injury attorneys to software companies.
Yeah.
It would probably cater to the male audience from like 18 to 45, but hyper niche down from like 25 to 35.
Okay.
It would be a mixture of like urban, like hip hop, fashion, but then still have elements of like LinkedIn, right?
Okay.
So where it's not just like World Star, it's not just like No Jumper. It's like,
oh, that's interesting.
it's like a little bit like educational. And I think the lens would always have to be educational. But in order for that to happen, I would need so much more. I would need just a lot of people. It would have to be like a lot of other characters that are specific to their audience, to like their expertise.
When I hear you describing the ideal situation, and I've mentioned this to you before, but it sounds a lot like Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Because Barstool Sports was just about sports. If you go on Barstool Sports page now, like they have everything, like TikTok influencers, music, sports, gambling. But their main focus though, like what they're known for, like the underlying, like the foundation of it all is sports media, right?
Yeah.
But I would never just consider them a sports media company at this point. They are an entertainment media company. Would you say that's something that you're striving towards? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's like a comparable. Barstool would be a comparable, but Barstool is still servicing, even though they're not just all sports, they're servicing that like frat boy type audience.
okay, oh, that's a great point. Who's your demo?
Our demo would be like more like people that, you know, smoke weed, listen to music, less sports, more into like what the players are wearing, you know, like like league fits type shit.
Yeah.
More into like rappers, more into the arts, painters.
Okay, so basically
like that.
Barstool Sports, but art.
Yeah, like an artistic version.
Yeah.
You know, and more.
You got, like you said, music, you have clothing, you have movies, TV series,
Yeah.
literature.
Yeah.
I can see that. And you feel like you can't do that while you're running Superline Wholesale?
Not right now. There's no way right now. There's no way. There's not enough.
I disagree with you.
Just don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth.
What are you missing in terms of bandwidth?
What do you think I'm missing?
I think nothing.
I think I'm missing leaders.
Okay. How old is Superline Network?
Like a year, 2 years.
I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
You're still in the infancy of your business.
Yeah.
How are you going to have leaders when even you yourself are a baby in this industry at this point, right?
Yeah.
But how much have you learned in the last year or two?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you're downplaying. I think you're downplaying.
It's just
your
early.
bandwidth.
Essentially, you're just saying it's really early.
Yeah.
It's just so early.
And the unknown is always scary. Like, I feel like you think you don't have bandwidth.
Do you feel like when when you talk about the unknown, like the fear of not knowing drives you to push harder than I guess I don't know what a normal on a scale that you guys are at, I don't know what normal is. So I can't even ask the question.
Okay, so is the fear, let me see if I can untie that. So is the fear of the unknown what fuels me or Eric? Is that what you're asking?
What's rushing?
Yeah, it's what's rushing him.
Okay. I don't see anything rushed. Can you give me an example of what you have rushed?
I rush a lot, right?
Like what? You can give me a very granular example or you can give me a broad example. But I've known you for a long time. What have you rushed?
I've rushed a lot.
Okay, well, if it's a lot, give me one example.
Shit. There was a podcast that I made them fucking no revisions and posted on one day.
Okay.
I rushed that. I mean, and normally all of our edits go through 2 to 3 revisions, but I was like, fuck it, bro, just put it out. Like,
what made you make that decision?
From my experience, and maybe this advice only works when you're smaller, but from my experience, putting it out consistently trumps making it perfect.
I agree with that.
But I think maybe as we get bigger, as we get bigger, the harder part is how can you put it out consistently and still be excellent? That's what's hard.
You grew up playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get good at your jump shot?
Fucking shoot 1 million of them.
Yeah, you drill, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you're at right now. You're 1-2 years in and you just got to keep drilling.
Keep drilling.
And as you continue to drill and you continue to just push out content consistently. And I think with content, especially for a media network, consistency is going to be really, really key. You're not going to have the best content every single time, but as you continue to do it consistently and you manage yourself like a serious business and you keep putting out content on a scheduled programming, then that's what's going to help you. You're going to have that schedule, you're going to have that regiment, but then also after every single piece of content you make, you will get incrementally better. Sometimes a little, not as big, not as much improvement, sometimes a lot of improvement. It just depends. And then over time, like I bet 10 years looking back, you'll see how all of your videos have developed. I mean, I can tell right now, if I look at your videos from when you first started, which I love, by the way, and I look at your videos now, and it's only been a couple of years, the difference is like, it's obvious. It's clear that you've improved in making content. So as you continue to make more content, you're going to improve. I don't think you're rushing anything. I think if you're on schedule, you're just on schedule. Maybe you're behind, so you had to post that podcast early. But to me, I also view that as discipline. You're like, you know what? And I'm sure you've learned from that. Hey, we had to post this podcast without being able to edit and revise it because of a timing issue. I don't want to be in this situation again. So let me make sure that I stay ahead of the game, pre-plan, and then so when it's the date and the time to post, it's ready and it's the way I want it done. Do you feel like you learned that at least?
Yeah. Pre-planning. Yeah. What do you guys think about what he said today and his questions?
I think you got great questions.
What do you think about like his perspective?
I think it's good perspective. I don't know how it looks like from, bro. I feel like I don't know what it looks like from, I just do my job.
Something in you made you feel comfortable enough to post it.
Oh, the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you posted it?
No. I looked through it. It was okay. The intro was ass. Sorry, Vince, if you're watching this, your intro's. Yeah, you're editing the shit. Man, my bad, bro. The intro was ass, bro. Intro was ass, but you're getting better. You know what I'm saying? You're getting better.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's getting better. Yeah. So for each moment. So he one of your teammates put you in a position where you posted a podcast that you weren't entirely thrilled with, but you also weren't entirely like disgusted with it because you wouldn't have posted it, right? And so what's his name?
Vince.
Now Vince knows, and he's going to make sure that he gets you better quality work product.
What do you guys, Alex and Sam, what do you guys think about what Eddie was talking about today?
I think it's very insightful, everything you said. I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah. It's like kind of what we've been saying all the time behind closed doors is like, it's going to compound. It's been compounded.
Yeah.
I agree with the sentiment that like 6 months ago, even a year ago, like our videos were significantly different and like the output was completely different. And as we're slowly pivoting away from like the blog style posts, I think it's going to be a lot of learning lessons. But with that, it's just like we're going to get better.
And you think it's worth it to get the page back?
Fuck yeah.
I agree with that.
Why would you give up 10 years and 1 million followers?
You know why? It's because I'm retarded. I'm the type of person that I will burn everything to the ground just to prove a point.
We're not going to put that in the video.
Yeah. Hey, if you made it this far, congratulations, bro. You deserve to get paid. If you're out here watching 2 hours of a Superline Playbook podcast with the boys, thank you. You deserve to get their money, bro. Get your money, bro. There's no way you're going to watch all of this content.
I think there's two sides to every coin, especially in a legal case. Nobody has, every case has its own unique set of warts. I hate when people come to me and tell me this is a slam dunk case or this is an easy case, no brainer case. There's no such thing. Everybody has an argument and everyone has a counter argument. I think you have valid points for you in terms of like how much the damages, the value of the damages are. I think he has his arguments about, that you did infringe upon like copyrighted images. So just got to find a way to compromise and get to a point where both sides, in the spirit of compromise, come to the table. And when I'm negotiating, and I negotiate every single day, I always say, hey, we can go back and forth forever about what we disagree upon because we're on inherent sides of the fence. You feel this way because you're on that side. You're on the defense side. I feel this way because I'm on the plaintiff side. And I have sound arguments. I have valid arguments. You have the same on your end, and we can continue to focus on, okay, how I feel and how you feel, and we can not get anywhere, or we can focus on our shared common ground. And you have shared common ground with this person that wants to get paid, is that they want this resolved.
Yeah.
So for me, when I negotiate, I know I want to resolve the issue. I know they want to resolve the issue. So instead of focusing on who's right and who's wrong, okay, because you could do that till you're blue in the face. Let's focus on how are we going to get this resolved. So, and then that's how you get to a compromise. I think if you start working collaboratively in that way, I know the guy that's reaching out to you is not, it's making it difficult for there to be some collaboration because he is a dick. But I think if you were able to just get him to like calm down, because ultimately, does he want to get $0 or does he want to get some dollars?
Yeah. Because I'm crazy enough to do the $0.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I don't like.
I get that.
Yeah. Like, I'm crazy enough to burn the whole thing down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy myself, so I understand that concept. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are that way.
Yeah.
And I also understand your kind of mindset of like, I've done it once, I can do it again. But this is just regular business, man.
Yeah.
Like you posted copyrighted images, right? So they have a valid argument to get paid for you using their images. Yeah. All right, now you've agreed to that part of it. Now where the disagreement is, what's the value? And I think his value is a little bit unreasonable. And we just got to figure out a way to meet in the middle, and no one's happy at a compromise. You know, everyone, but you want to be able to walk away and just close that chapter of your life. Keep Superline Network going, keep Superline Wholesale going. And now that you've learned from this and you never want to deal with it again, you'll probably never make this mistake ever again. But I assure you, as you continue to grow your business, you will make other mistakes that you're going to have to learn from. And it's just kind of a learning process as you go on. Try not to think about the end. I stopped doing that a while ago. I only just think about, okay, what do I need to do for today? If I do what I need to do for today, and tomorrow I'll figure out what I need to do tomorrow. And then just take it one day at a time. You're not rushing anything.
If you guys are watching this video, we're giving you the inside. Like this is like these are conversations that we would probably have off camera and just tell you guys, you know, you guys are seeing the real inside look of Superline. I think as a leader, the one thing I learned today is the network is important. And I'm just telling this to you guys. I think the network is important, but I think we were just so early. Like, I think we were really early on it. I think the wholesale, the clothing brand, that niche, I think is like, there's so much more to untap. And I think, you know, I always try to think that like everything happens for a reason. And like, I just try to decipher like, what is God's like plan, or what is he trying to teach us? What is he trying to show us? And I think it's like, there's still so much more to go in this well that like if we can take more of the water out here, then it will give us more resources to get into other wells. And I just think that we were just early. And I think even people coming after us shows us that there's proof of concept, because it's like if these brands are coming after us, it's like they're coming after us because there's enough juice, like we're making enough impact to where it's disrupting their business. So
no question.
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed? I see more people like tourists or just kind of people who don't sell watches going to the same people that you go to, get watches and run around the Diamond District trying to sell watches.
Yeah. That's Squid Games.
That?
The Squid Game shit. Vucom started it, but we definitely
No. But they're dealers. You're not a dealer.
Yeah.
You're the first to do it as a non-dealer, to go in, gain the trust of those dealers, get a watch and go around trying to sell it, right?
Yeah.
I see so many of those videos now. And so, like, I think your creativity is there. I think your discipline is there. You definitely have a good team. You're a hard worker. I mean, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever you want to do with Superline Network, I think you can do it. I agree with Telly. I think you should focus on Superline Network and really build it out and really come up with a game plan. Okay, if we have a channel, what's the programming we have on this channel? Like, what do I want to do? If it's watches, you know, you develop out a watch team. If it's fashion, like the BTS stuff, I mean, that you guys have like nailed down.
Yeah.
So that's already there. And then if it's like fashion, you have, I love, you were talking about like the sports fits and stuff, like getting involved in sports, but more so like how
the lifestyle element of it.
Yeah. You need to have that. And I think if you focus on all of those things and you continue to work on building the Superline network out, like where it's cohesive, as Telly was saying that it's different, but all having a common like thread of fabric amongst all the different, you know, categories of content that you're making, Superline Wholesale, they benefit off of all of that.
Yeah.
You're just building credibility and trust. So the network will do whatever it needs to do for Superline Wholesale, but then I think it extends well beyond that. I've been a big believer in Superline, like from day one. I think you can make it whatever you want. I think you just need to sit down and I disagree that you don't have enough bandwidth. I disagree that you rush things. I think someone who takes their business seriously is going to have their wife in their ear and complain a lot about this and that. But
Make sure you clip this, that part. Any of the wife part, just clip it for me so I can get it. And her and Eddie can.
But if you want to be successful in business, you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, you have to love it, and you have to want to do a good job. And you're not doing what you're doing every day, like if it's not something that you're passionate about. I've known you long enough to know that you're not going to fuck around and do something that you don't fuck with.
Yeah.
Right? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So try not to think of it as I don't have bandwidth. It's just today you didn't. I think you just need to be more like, today, this is what I'm going to get done. I'm going to accomplish this. And then go day to day, because tomorrow's never promised.
If they want to find you, if they get in a car accident, if a dog attacks them, where can they find you at?
They can find me. You can call me 404-JUST-WIN. Just Google me, Kimlaw. There's a lot of Kims. Kim's a popular last name.
Google me is tough. Google me. Hey, that should be everyone's goals. Like for you to be able to be like, just Google me, bro. Like that's goals.
Kimlaw, KIMLAW. It's just 2 words. There's a lot of like Kimlaw Group, Kimlaw Firm, Kimlaw Associates. We're not those people. We're just 2 words. Kimlaw. Call us and we can definitely help you.
Call him. He's gonna get you right. You know, we stay giving you out free game. This episode was more of a therapy session than anything. Thank you.
No problem.